Got a comic book for you I've been reading lately. The Fantastic Four, world's greatest comic magazine. I'm looking down on it. There you go. This is number 6. The Thing fights alone against the world's most unexpected villains of all. And I love these villains. They're so good. You can see about 3 of them there. We've got her, and we've got this down here. I think that's Body Bag. And this is Thug up here. Um, and they're just like a wacky crew. Talk a little bit more about them a little later. But this is from 1998. It was written by Chris Claremont, and it was drawn by Salvador Larroca and colored by Art Thibert. And they did a great job on the artwork. Here we see 1998. Here we see a fold-out synopsis of where the Fantastic Four is right now. And I'm assuming you know who Fantastic Four is, but just in case, here's what they look like. I mean, you know, okay. For years, Reed Richards, one of the world's foremost scientific minds, planned to build a starship capable of making the hyperspace journey to other galaxies. When the federal government threatened to withdraw funding from his project, Richards decided to undertake an immediate test flight, despite the fact that the craft was still insufficiently shielded and potentially intense radiation. Reed asked test pilot Ben Grimm, his old college roommate and best friend, nepotism alive and well in the superhero. Okay. Anyway, to navigate the starship, joined by Susan Storm, then Richard's girlfriend, and Johnny, her younger brother, they braved the unknown dangers of space in a quest to further mankind's knowledge of the universe. But then the incredible happened. The ship was bombarded by cosmic rays, in bold, cosmic rays, and forced to crash land back to Earth, where the quartet discovered the wreckage and, they emerged from the wreckage to discover that they had been meticulously endowed with abilities far beyond those of other humans. Yes. Woo. There we go. Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards, Susan Richards, the Invisible Woman, the Thing, Ben Grimm, and Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. Okay, so you know who they are, but they do have a nice little fun synopsis of prior issues and that sort of thing in a fold-out, which I like. Okay, the issue is called April is the Cruelest Month. Now, if you happen to know if that's a famous quote, I have not Googled it because I have no idea why this issue, after having read it, is titled April is the Cruelest Month, but it is. And here we get a glimpse of Salvador Larroca's style. He likes to draw curvy people. Everybody. There is some serious sex appeal going on in this comic book. It's sort of amazing. Here we have a fight where Susan is fighting Iron Fist. Don't worry, just sparring. See She-Hulk up there in the corner looking on. And just look how bendy everyone is. Definitely likes to draw muscles, and everyone is drawn very sexy, very sexy. In fact, the next part shows Susan with Namor. Basically, what happens here is Susan wants to relax for a little while, and Namor ambushes her. And the plot in this story travels quickly, very, very quickly. There's a lot packed into these pages, and sometimes it doesn't make a ton of sense, you know, like all of a sudden Susan is very happy to be ambushed by Namor, and everybody is drawn with the utmost sex appeal. Yeah. So definitely a characteristic of this comic so far in the last I read issues 4 through 7. This is issue 6. And I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not used to my stories moving that quickly, but at the same time, it was certainly a lot of fun. And since it's from 1998, we've got the old ads. Here we have the concert connection. You can buy concert tickets to all of these great artists. And there's also down here in this black line, you'll see a party dating line. Somehow I doubt that. I didn't dial it. Somehow I doubt that number still works. But yeah, this is one thing I just love about back issues is looking at the advertisements, which I don't usually like when I'm currently in the time period. Yeah. Here we have an ad for Anaconda the movie, which I remember, featuring Ice-T back in 1998. Yeah. A lot of fun in this comic so far. And we have Stan's soapbox. There's Stan Lee himself. And I just wanted to read the last paragraph to you. And so ends another pandemonious plunge into the culture and erudition, courtesy of magnanimous Marvel. But let me leave you with this gratuitous little gem of wisdom. You'll never be a bullpen. You'll never be a bullpen hero if your reading skills add up to 0. Excelsior. Stan Lee. Yeah. Had a lot of fun reading this book. The story right now, this is the story of where Reed and Susan are going out on a romantic dinner. They get a date out, and they get to have fun, and Ben Grimm and Alyssa, one of Reed's old friends and sparks, take care of Franklin, Susan and Reed's super-powered son. And so while they're out on the town, of course, Reed, Alyssa, and the Thing are attacked by, I think, my favorite villain troupe in the last few weeks that I've read about. Maybe in the last year. They're just a lot of fun, and here they are up ahead. Behold my technet, the finest bounty hunters in known space. This is kind of a cool... I don't remember these guys. I feel like I read this comic book a long time ago, and I don't remember them. But we have the head of TechNet, who is China Doll, I believe her name is. This big blue alien. And numbers. Here we have Scatterbrain. This is Scatterbrain. She's pretty important in this comic. And Joy Boy is this creature that I believe... No, I'm sorry. Joy Boy is the baby. Joy Boy's the baby. Also important. Getting a little confused. I can't remember what this creature's name is right here. It's on the shoulder. Okay. We have Thug down here. Going a little fast. Thug. And, oh, I'm sorry. Her name is Gatecrasher. So, yeah, Gatecrasher right there. Female, I am Gatecrasher. Yes. Yeah, so that's Gatecrasher. And this is Scatterbrain right here. They're very important in this. Pharaoh in the foreground. And then over here we have Body Bag, who is awesome. And Ring Loss right here. And so that's TechNet. This is also a member of TechNet who doesn't last long. Hard-Boiled Henry. My little music clip's in the way, but let's see. There's another face shot. Yeah, right there. Here we go. Hard-Boiled Harry. Or Henry. Henry. Hard-Boiled Henry. Yeah. So, very cool villain crew that is with us in this comic and in the next. And right now they're trying to abduct Franklin. And we have, I don't remember her name. Alyssa, here we go. We have Alyssa protecting Franklin right here in the foreground as well. Meanwhile, Susan and Reed are out on a fancy date. So good for them. They even have candlelight, which is, look at that. Yeah. So I thought this was the most fun team I've seen in the past few comics I've read recently by these guys. Very fun. So that was issue 6. And I dug up the others that I read recently, the comic book boxes. This is a reprint of, I don't know, some old issue. Fantastic Four versus Doctor Doom. I'm just going to show these ones briefly. I'm reading Fantastic Four because of Michael K. Vaughan's mentioned that he was going to be reading some Fantastic Four. So I've got quite a few issues, not tons and tons, but I don't know, 20, 30, 40 issues of Fantastic Four. And so I'm going to read these this year. And this was a reprint of... well, it's not immediately obvious, but it was done in 2018. So it's not. This is not a very old issue right here, but it is a reprint of an old issue. And then there's this reprint of Fantastic Four number 52. It says right on the cover. Also, this reprint isn't very old, but it's where the Fantastic Four meets Black Panther, and they fall into his trap. That's the back cover reprint that they did. Okay. And then these are the others from, so this is the Heroes Reborn or Heroes Return series that happened in 1998, or 1998. Issue 4, where they meet Terminus, who is a grotesque, horrifying villain. Issue 5, where they meet Crucible. Crucible, we might know who Crucible is. We might have seen him earlier in this video, but maybe not. We're not sure yet. Through issue 7, not exactly sure who Crucible is exactly. Here I've got a... This makes me think this is my original number 6, because there's no cover. So maybe I did buy some reprints recently. Anyway, I did read these a long time ago, I think. Another thing I forgot is on the backs of these, there's these Buffy the Vampire Slayer milk ads. There we go. Number 7. And an extra copy of number 7. So yeah, it looks like I've been... There you go. Fantastic Four from 1998. Chris Claremont. There is another author on the title. It is Scott Lobdell. I believe his name is Scott. There's a picture of Ben meeting. So they moved into a warehouse by the harbor temporarily because their place got trashed in earlier issues. I have read issues 1 through 3, but I think it was in 1998. I need to find copies of those. I don't have them anymore. They are lost. Some other... How does Marvel work? It's another multi-dimensional universe. Those comics are undoubtedly in that universe somewhere, waiting to be read once again. Yeah, so that's the Fantastic Four. In the next issue, I'm going to be reading Knights of the Dinner Table. This is my favorite comic, right here. I've been reading this for years. This is the last issue I read, issue 281, which is from, I don't know when it was from. A few months ago, last year sometime. It says somewhere, I'm sure. Anyway, this is issue 281 that I read recently, where we wrapped up the Crutch storyline, where Crutch is leading the Knights of the Dinner Table. Now, you may not know who the Knights of the Dinner Table are. They're known by gamers for sure. It's a parody magazine where we follow the gaming community in Muncie, Indiana. And this comic has been going for a very long time. They're running up, I think it's going to be issue 300 soon. I believe I got my first issue back in 96, 98, 97, somewhere around there. And I've been a big fan ever since. I haven't read every single issue. I may have read every single issue up to this 281. I'm not sure. And I don't remember a lot of it because it's been over the years. But I've been collecting it forever and have some holes due to the trials and tribulations of property that I own. But anyway, this copy still exists. And so the next one I'll be reading is called, it's issue 282. You're about to read the most tragic game in the life of B.A. Felton, the dungeon master, the game master for Hackmaster for the Knights of the Dinner Table. So there you go. Next issue. Happy reading!